Welcome back, developer. In the last video, we stopped at the heading tag and the paragraph tag. So now we are going to talk more on the inline elements. So the inline elements, these are the ones that I'm going to talk about. So among these inline elements, we have some that are self-closing tag and we have some that are opening and closing tag. So an example of opening and closing tag is this, the ones that have this open and the one that have this close. So the self-closing tag are the tags that close itself. So and whenever you want to embed anything inside them, you embed it inside the tag and not outside the tag. So we are going to be talking about the inline elements. So let's move on. Now, this is where we stopped the last time, and now let me get rid of these, and so we can continue. Now, when we say the inline elements, the last time I gave a definition saying inline elements are those elements that take the maximum content of the width of the maximum content of whatever is inside them. So that is that, and they allow other elements to stay on the same line with them. So that is the inline element. So what are they used for? Why do we need them? So we are going to be discussing about that now. So the inline element of 18, you can embed them inside block elements, but it's not a good practice to embed block elements inside the inside inline element. So for example, you want to have something like orange tag, and you want to change the color of the two, so you can definitely use the inline element inside the block element. For example, let's say I'm going to have a H1. So let's say I have orange and I have tech, and I want to change the color of this orange alone to orange color or red color or blue color or whatever color I want to change to. So I can use one of these inline element to do that, and it's going to work perfectly. So how do I do that? So I can just come in here and type span. So that's the work of span. So I'm going to copy the orange here and put it inside this. So in here, I can just embed my styling. So don't worry about this. You can do to follow. You will understand more about this later. So in here, I can just say color. I want to change the color, and the color is going to be red, for example. Yeah. So if I change this color to red and save, I should have the orange text. You can see now this is giving this color and this is giving this color. And you might be like, oh, why don't I use H1 instead? So if I change this and I said H1 again inside this H1, it's going to break this orange down. So and you can see what I have now. You can see. So you can't use block element inside block element. It's going to break it into separate lines. So I don't want that. I want everything on the same line. That's the reason why I use the span tag to do that. So and if you want to do something like this, span tag is the best for us to use. So now that's the work of span tag. You can use it to do more other things. Probably you want things to stay on the same line, so you can use the span tag to achieve that. We are going to be talking more on the span tag when we go further. And now let's talk about the sub and the sub. And if you definitely know Microsoft, you've ever used Microsoft Word before, you will know what we call the subscript and the superscript. So that is the work of the two. So now let's say, for example, I want to have HO2. I want to write the formula for water. I'm not a science student, so definitely I don't know how to do that. But now let's say you want to have a formula for water, and I think it's usually H, then say HO2 or H2O. So let's say it's H. Let's assume it's H2O. So now I'm going to put my 2 here and close this, then put my O here, my O in cap. So the O is going to be in capital letter in uppercase. So I'm going to put my O here. So if I save now, I'm going to have this, you can see H2O. So you can use this as that. So if you use any other tag aside from this or any block element tag to perform this operation, it's going to break it to the next line. Probably you use P tag. So if you use P here, it's going to break it to next line. You can see everything now is not break into different paths. So this is not what you want. You definitely want everything on the same line. So that is the work of the sub. So let's say you want to write 90 degree Celsius 50 degrees Celsius or whatever degree you want to write. So to achieve that again, you can use what we call the sub, which is the superscript. So you can just say 90, then you put your degree inside this sub. That's a sub, yeah, and you put your small o, small letter O, and you put your capital C, which means 90 degrees Celsius. So if you do this now, this will give you the 0 to be at the top. So if you want to do something like this, you can see that is how you can achieve that using the inline element. So inline element only takes whatever space they need as a width. So and give other elements the rest of the space to use. So that's the reason why we are able to do that. Now we have another tag. I'm not going to talk about this anchor now. It has a lot of works and I don't want to move into that now. Let's quickly move into the small tag now. So the small tag, to use them, you can just for example, you want to make something smaller, you don't want it to be too big, probably a little description in a product card. So you can just say lorem of 10, and if you do this, you can see it's smaller, much more smaller than the paragraph tag. So paragraph text. So if you do here and say lorem of 10, just like that one. So if we are to save now and check, you can see this P is much more what's it called, bigger than this one. So that is the work of the small tag. So it does the same thing as its name. So now moving on, we have the strong. So this strong make things bolder if you want your text to be bold and more like emphasizing on something. So you can do this using the strong. It's more like bold. Yeah, that is what it does. Bold. It's bold your text. So we can just say, for example, wants to have a p tag. Let's say I want to type orange, and the orange I want it to be kind of bold. I can just type strong and copy that, paste it inside a strong, and I'm going to type maybe tech or whatsoever I want to type here. And now if I save, you will see that the orange here is even a little bit bolder than the text. So that is the work of the strong. In case you want something like that, you can use the strong tag. We have a lot of inline elements, but I'm going to talk about the most important ones. And now let's move to this anchor tag. So when we say this anchor tag, we have it to be what we call the link tag. Some people call it link, hyperlink, and the right name for it is what we call the anchor tag. So this anchor tag, it has a lot of functions. We can use it to navigate from one website to another website. We can use it to navigate within web pages of our own website. We can use it as a call tag to make a call. We can use it as a mail tag to send a mail in case somebody wants to send you an email. Just embed your email inside the href, and anybody that is to call you or to email you, after clicking on that, opens up the email app on their PC or on their mobile application if they have it installed. And now we can use it to scroll from or within a web page. So you want to scroll top, you want to scroll down. We are going to be doing that when we move to our real life project. So we have a lot of other things to do. You can use it to make a download button in case you want to download a file and so on. We can use it for that, or connect your social media accounts to it. So if you are on Facebook, you are on WhatsApp, you are on Twitter, you are on TikTok, you are on some other social media platform and you want to connect that to your website, you can do that using the anchor tag. So now let's see what we can do with this. So let's say, for example, I'm going to have a file called home.html. So home.html. Yeah. So inside this home.html, so I'm going to generate my boilerplate. So this is what we call the boilerplate, HTML template or boilerplate. So that is what we call it. So in here now, let's say I'm going to have H1 that is going to say home page, or let's say welcome to the home page. So let's say welcome to the home page, for example, here. So if I save now, I'm coming here, I want to navigate to this page. How will I do that? So to do that, I'm going to type A. So just type A and press enter. So after typing A, I'm pressing enter. So wherever you want to go is what you put inside this href, which is hyper reference. So this is what we call this hyper reference, location of where you are going. So I'm going to home.html. So I can just type home .html, and it's done. So now in here is the link, what the text that the user or the client will click on is going to be passed inside this particular place. So I'm going to say go to home page, for example. Go to home page. So if I say go to home page now and save, I should see this go to home page. So if I come in here now, you can see go to home page. So if you look down here after hovering around this go to home page, you will see that down here the link or the file or the location I'm going is being popped up. If you see that, so if I click here now, you can see I'm inside the welcome to the home page. So if you look here now, this is the text that I have here. So that is how you navigate within your own website. So you don't need to input anything. But let's say, for example, I'm going to any website, probably BBC, you are going to google.com, you want to go to another website. So you have to put HTTPS. So this HTTP stand for what we call the hypertext transfer protocols. So here it means you are going to another website and you have to put the slash slash, then the name of the website you are going to. It's either you put the triple W or you just put the name of the website .com, .ng, .com, .co, .org, whatsoever. So for example, if I'm going to Google now, just type google.com. So you can either put your www, but I'm not going to be doing that. So you can put your www.google.com and it's going to take you to Google. So if I put this now, let me remove this and say uh, visit Google. So if I put this and say visit Google and go back, refresh, you can see visit Google. So if I click here now, it takes me to the Google website. So that is how you can do that if you are going to another website. So in another form, there is another thing you can add in this, because it's something you need to know and it's something you have seen online one or meet maybe many times, or you only come across it once. You definitely don't want people to leave your website when you want them to visit another website. You want them to be there inside your website and open another tab for them where they visit the website. So to do that, you can just put the target here. So when you put target, so you can specify it to be self, to be parent, to be blank, to be top, or whatsoever, but I'm going to set it to be blank. So when I set it to be blank, it's going to open another web page here. So let me do that. Let me remove all of this first. So if I click here now, I should see another tab open for me. You can see this is our website and it opens another tab for us. So that is the work of the anchor tag. And now let's move on again to another interesting part of the anchor tag. So I'm going to come in here and type yeah, another anchor tag, and I'm going to say email me now. So for example, you want people to email you on your website, so you can just say email me now, for example. So inside this place, you have to prefix it with what we call the mail, then to mail to. So when you do mail to and you put this, so you put your mail now. So I'm going to put orange tech guy at gmail.com, for example. So if I put this now and save, so anybody that is to click on this email me now, and you can see it's still on the same line as this visit Google. Yeah, the reason is because it is a what? Inline element. So inline elements allow other elements to stay on the same line with them, irregardless of what's it called? Their width. Are you getting it now? So if there's still enough space, they allow other elements to stay on the same line with them. So now that's the reason why we have it beside each other. So if I click here now, I should see my mail pop up for me. You can see it asks me to choose my Gmail. This way, what am I going to use to access this? So if I choose this now, this is going to open up my mail. And now that is that about that again. So if you want to make call, you want people to give you call. So I'm going to use that. So you can just put tell here, then you follow it by your country code and follow it by your number. So you can just put your country code number. So I'm in Nigeria, so I'm going to put +234, then the following number. So if you put it like this, you can just say in here now, call me for more info, for example. So call me for more info. If you put this and somebody is to click on the call me for more info, it's going to ask me. So I'm not on mobile. It will have it's if this being I'm on mobile, it's going to open up my dial pad for me, so I can make the call instead of allowing the person to copy the number from my PC, or sorry, from the website. So that is that about this. So this is how you can do all those things. And there are more to that. If you're on social media, just copy it, press the anchor tag, pass your HTTPS colon slash slash, then follow by the rest of the link to your social media account. So, and it's going to work fine for you. So, anybody that you want the person to follow, you can just say, follow me, or you just put Twitter here. If you are on Twitter, so you can just put Twitter here. So, if anybody is to click on the link, it takes them to your uh, Twitter link or Twitter profile, and they can follow you, see some of your works, and so on. So that is that about this. There is more to this. So we are going to be talking about that, and don't worry, we are going to be using it to make a download button. We are going to be using it to. So if you want to download a file, you just pass the download here. So then you pass the location of the file you want to download inside this particular download. So that is how you work with this download inside this anchor tag. So now that is that about the anchor tag. Let's quickly move on again to another thing. So I'm going to talk about the multimedia file. So we have this multimedia tag. So I usually call it multimedia because most of the people that I've seen online, they call this the multimedia tag. So most people call it multimedia tag. So when we say multimedia tags, they are of four or more. So the most useful ones are the image tag. We have the audio tag. We have the video tag, and we have the iframe. Yeah, the iframe is also part of that, and you are going to be seeing the work of that. So let's start with the very first one. So before I start, let me go to my file. Let me look for images where I can get images. Yeah, let me look for images inside here. I should have some images which are, yeah. So I'm going to rename this. It's going to always rename your image to a kind of two, three names or whatsoever. Don't let the name be that long, because if the name is too long, you are going to might be having issue, and your file name should not be having space in between them. Please take note of that. So I'm going to say, let's say image. So I'm going to name it img1. So for example, one image. So always try to practice this immediately after the. So I'm going to drop it here. So after dropping it here, so now you can see this is the image for me. I downloaded. I'm making a mobile application on that. So now in here this image. So the next thing, just type img. So yeah, sorry, let me type img down here. So I'm going to talk about comment later, don't worry. So I'm going to say img. So inside this, you can see this is an example of what we call the self-closing tag. So self-closing tag, this is an example of it. So you can see it doesn't have any closing tags, so and that's the reason why we call it self-closing tag. So they are, wherever you are going to put anything is going to be inside these things, and these are what we call the attributes. So these things are called attributes. So they are attributes of the image tag. So now if we are to embed anything or put anything, it's going to be inside this source and inside this quote here. So you either use a double quote or single quote. So now I'm going to put the dot slash. So the dot slash means the current folder, which is this folder. Are you getting it now? So that is what I mean by the current folder. But the moment I do the double dot then slash, I mean out of this folder. So there is another folder. So that is what I'm saying. And now I'm going to create a folder. That's what I love to do. I love creating another folder. So I'm going to call the folder assets. So I love to group all my multimedia files, PDF, images, videos, audios, and everything that I'm working with inside a website. I love to group them in a folder called assets. So I'm going to move it inside the assets, inside the asset folder. Yeah, yes, I want to move it, and it has been moved to this folder. And now, if I want to pass that, I'll just do the dot slash, which means the current folder. So the current folder has this, all of this file and this asset. So, and inside the asset folder, I have only one image. So if I click on this now, you can see that's the beauty of VS Code, and it gives you suggestion and code completion. So if I save now, you will see that I have this image here, right here with me. So that is how you embed image. That is how you display image on the web using your HTML. So you can put size, maybe probably you want to, now Before I move on, let me move to this alt. What is it there for? What is it there for? Why do we need it there? So in case the location of your image is not found, or the name of your image is not correct, or the location you are passing is not correct, or something happens to the image. So let's say I deleted something from this image, you see the image will not pop up again. So what do we now need? So we need to pass something inside this alternative, and it's going to be a text, just a pure text is what you pass inside that place to replace the image if the image doesn't pop up, if the image doesn't show up, probably on time, or the image link has been broken. So you need to pass something here. So I can just say movie image. So a link, just a kind of hint on the kind of image in that particular place. So you can see now I have the movie image here, which is the text. So if the image, if nothing happens to the image and the image is fine, the link is not broken or whatsoever, the image pop-ups and replace the text of that alternative. So that's the reason why you need that text there in case you want to do. Now I can pass the width, I can pass the height and some other attributes, but we are going to be doing this later. So if I put, let's say for example, 200px now. So if I put 200px, you can see the image has been reduced and it's still on the same line as the what, as all these ones, because image tag is also a inline element. Are you getting it now? So that's the reason why it stays on the same line as the other one. So I'm going to move this one here, and the next one which we are going to be talking about is the audio. I don't think I have the audio on my system, but I think I have some sounds that I'm going to use. So the audio, so inside this audio, it has the attribute source also. So let me try and get audio. So I'm going to come in here again, go to my music. I have sounds, but I don't have music. So now, okay, let me move one of these. Let me move this, and let me move this here and drop it inside the assets. So now after dropping it, let me rename it, and I'm going to rename it to uh, odd one, for example. So I'm going to close it and come in here, just do the dot slash as usual inside the same folder slash. Then I'm going to pass my audio this time around and not the image, because you cannot display your image inside the what, inside the audio place. You have to take note of that also. So if I save now, let me see what I'm going to have, and nothing pop-ups. Yeah, nothing will pop up because this image needs this audio needs one more attribute called controls. It has one more attribute, controls in plural with the plural s. So when you put this now, your audio is here now. So if I play this now, this will play. Yeah, the sound is playing. Yeah, you can't hear the sound. Yeah, but the sound is definitely playing. So that is that about the audio. So it has some other attributes also, and you can always check in case you want to, but the most important ones are this. So we can mute it in case you want to mute your audio. You can set it to mute, and some other things like that. So in case you don't want it to make sound, or you want it to be muted at first, and the person to disable the mute in case, and when you get to react, you can pass ternary operator to it and make it mute or whatsoever. So when we get to JavaScript, when we are making music player, you are going to be understanding that. So that is how you can play audio inside this also. Now let's move to the next one, which is the video. So inside this video, all you just have to type is video again. So that's the beauty of this. So I'm going to look for one small video here to play. Let me go to my video, which of these. So yeah, let me click and drop this. Let me click and drop this. So drop this here, and I'm going to drop it inside the assets. Move, yeah, I want to move it, close it, rename it to vid one. Yeah, so that the name will be short. You have to take note of that. Always rename your video or your multimedia files to a short name, and there should be no space. Please take note of that. And I'm going to do the dot slash again, go to the asset and look for my vid one. Yeah, so in here I'm going to encounter the same thing as my audio the last time, because you can see now the video is here, but the reason why it is not showing or playing is because it needs to pass control. So you have to do controls, So when you pass controls to it, so you will see that you can see now. You can play the video. You can see, and the video is too big, and you can reduce it. So you can pass width to it as usual. So the width is to 200 px. We are going to get to CSS where we are going to be discussing all of this. So if you do this now, you can see what we have, and it's still beside this. That is to tell you that it is an inline element, and if you remember, that is what we are talking about. So you can add, if you want to add poster, so you can add poster to it. That is, it's something you often come across on YouTube. That picture that pops up before you play a video is what we call the poster here. So you can pass it also. So you can just do dot slash asset on img, then this. So if you pass this now, you will see this pops up before the video plays. So this is more like a thumbnail. Yeah, that is what it does. So if you play the video, the picture disappears. See now, the pictures now disappear. So that's the work of the poster. We can pass, you can see you have to pass controls before you play your video. You can mute it. If you want to mute it, you can autoplay it. If you want to autoplay it, the same thing for your audio and so on. So you can do as many, you can do as much as that in your video. Now, the last one which I'm going to talk about in this video is what we call the iframe. So the iframe. So the iframe is very useful. You can use it in what's it called? You can use it very well. It's very like is widely used. Probably you something you've seen in some blogs. You want to download a movie, you see a kind of trailer, and inside the trailer you will see it more like YouTube like. So you are going to see that the video looks as if you are playing YouTube. So that is what we call the that's the work of the iframe. So you can embed videos, you can embed map, you can embed some other things like that inside your website. So how can you now do that? So to do that is very simple. Let's say I'm going to click on one of this video. I'm going to click on this, and what I'm going to do here is embed the video. And how do I embed the video? So to embed the video, I'll just click here on click on share, and it's going to show me embed. So I have to click on the embed and click on copy. So I have to copy this. So after copying this, then I'll come to my website, paste it down. If I save now, I'm going to have it in my website. You can see now, and this is the video. So you can play the video like this. So in case you want people, so indirectly, you people are watching your YouTube video inside your website, and you are all people that are watching this are going to be counted as viewers also. So they're also going to be part of the viewers in case you have a YouTube channel. So now let's say I want to embed a kind of uh, you can use it to embed a map. So let's say I'm going to use one area here, which I'm going to say Taiwo or Taiwo Ilorin Google map, for example. So if I go here now, let's see what I'm going to have on my uh, map. This is right, no. So I think I should go to Google. Let me look for Google. Let me see. Let's hope it works. It's been a long time I did this. Let's see whether it's going to work. No, I don't. This is it. No. Oh, yeah. Oh, should be able to. Uh, let's see. Yeah, I think that's it. So if you want to embed a map, you can click on here. I think you should look for share or embed map. Yeah. So you click on share or embed map. So you can see embed map, and you can copy the HTML. So if you put this now, you can just come down here, paste it like this, and you can embed the map of your this thing, and you can see, and you can resize it, the width, the height, and so on. When we get to CSS, we are going to be learning on how we can do that. So that is that about the iframe, and that is that about the multimedia tags. So you can do a lot of these when we get further on. Yeah, so this is where we are going to stop in this video. We are going to move further in the next video. Thank you.